So now we're recording. Welcome. And Linda might pop in a little bit later. So let's see. Posters have been printed, rack cards are printed. So we just brought on a new intern yesterday. So he's very savvy with video editing and social media and all of that. So I'm really excited to onboard him and get him going with some creative projects. He'll be doing like site visits to various artists, workshops, and trying to get some behind the scenes stuff. And then we're going to be doing a whole day long just go put posters up everywhere day. So that's happening after the preview party, the first week of August. So we'll be working on that with the whole logistics team, including the new interns. All of the ad space, all of the print ad space that we've purchased is going out in August. So right now, we're still at this point of not tons of momentum. We've gotten some great preview coverage, but we don't have a lot of ticket sales yet, which of course is nerve-wracking, as it always goes. August 14th is the final day for pre-sale price point, which is $30. And then we have a discount code so there's also student tickets. Students, active military, creative industry professionals, and Logan Heights residents get it for $20. There's also I created all the discount codes for all of the participants. So they're all getting 20% off to their various constituencies. And then I created a specific discount code, which is 50% off for Tijuana folks. But students in particular. And that's because there's a group it's a group of middle to low income Tijuana residents who are students that are always searching for creative activities to do. It's a I don't know the name of the group. I forgot the name of the group, but anyway, there's like a group of 30 students that want to come out and participate in this thing. And they have a small budget. And so they're contributing $10 per ticket per person. I thought that was very fair, especially given what it takes to come out here, right? Like getting on the trolley, the whole trek out here is already a big effort. So we want more TJ people to attend, and that's a good thing. And we have, as you know, our VIP party on the 25th. So that one is very much connected to hopefully future sponsors, whether it's for this round or for next year. So we filled the room with a lot of arts leaders and business leaders in particular, like potential donors and sponsors. We've got some banks in attendance. One of the people, and I don't know how he got this, because there's a VIP code, right, that we gave to all of you so that you can comp people with. And I asked the tech guy in our world, thinking he was the one who comped him, but he's not. So this person is the co-founder of Siri. Like, he sold Siri to Apple. He designed it. And also the co-founder of change.org. So clearly in line with our values and all of that. So it's very exciting that he's going to be in the room. He got the comp code, he got his tickets, and then he made a donation for the value of the tickets. So he actually paid for his tickets. So I found it really interesting. Like, somebody from our group invited him. Somebody knows him, how cool that he's in San Diego, how cool that he's interested and is going to be there. So hopefully he gets inspired, and maybe we have a potential other sponsor or donor, maybe.
Will you have the opportunity to actually interact with them, to introduce yourself?
I'm going to make it. Yeah, I'm going to make that opportunity happen. There won't be a lot of talking this time around. We do have Councilwoman Vivian Moreno, who's going to be in attendance, and we're going to give her the platform to say a few words. And then there are two performances. So we have Malashok Dance Company and Conectarte are both performing. Conectarte is the Tijuana group that does the art installations and dance performance. And then we also have Art Walk San Diego. An artist is going to be doing live sketch artists there. We also have Natalie Gonzalez, who's doing the Eyes of God, the Tsikuri yarn pieces that's going to turn into a major installation. So it's an opportunity for people to make their own, and then it gets added to the larger installation, which could be really fun. But she's going to create like a photo wall with her very colorful pieces. So it'll be a really cool like photo op moment. And then San Diego Mesa College is also doing, they're going to bring some of the pre-printed screen printing pieces. And so they're just going to have an art installation of that, of those up in the courtyard. And then Marilu Salinas, who's curating the soundscape for various art installations, she's going to be our DJ that night. So it'll be really fun. And then we've got 6 chef stations. It's actually 5 chef stations and then the bar, but the Old Harbor Distilling is actually partnering with Filipino Cinema, San Diego Filipino Cinema, on their craft cocktail. So people will get 2 dots that they vote with, and they'll go to the various stations, and then whoever gets the most is going to get a certificate, that says audience favorite, and they're going to get an extra $100 for their, for winning audience favorite. So it's just and chefs love the competition. It's really not about the money. They just want it like bragging rights. So they're all very excited. It's really cool. I love doing this. The chefs are talking to the artists and learning about them and getting inspired. So it should be a really fun night. Right now we have about 130 or so, 20 or 30 attendees, but I'd love to get to 200 if we can. So if you can help me do that, it'd be awesome. If any potential donor sponsors, that type of folk in your life that you think, even if you can't attend, if you can just say, hey, I'm not able to make it, but I have these extra VIP tickets, please take them and be my guest, something like that. So that's
it again too, because we posted it. I don't know if that had any
thank you.
I'm
Yeah,
still
thank
trying
you so
to
much.
figure out how to go.
I know,
I'm
right?
trying to
Because you have your
weasel out of
tickets.
my commitment that night. If I can do it, I'll know tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be awesome. So I hope you can make it. And then just a kind of a side note, but it's related, is that one of our new advisory board members, Arturo Rodriguez, he runs an art gallery event space called La Caja in Tijuana. It's the box. Anyway, the space is more than an art gallery. It's way more than an art gallery. It sounds like a very simple little space, but it's got like a performance venue. It's got workshops for like ceramics and jewelry making. It's got an arts residency program. So they have a little apartment where the artists can stay and create. They have various art exhibition spaces, a little restaurant, a little farm to table situation where they have all these herbs and vegetables that are growing on the side, and whatever's fresh gets used. It's really fantastic what he does. But he coordinates these regular, like quarterly meetings with the Tijuana arts leadership from similar to what we do, which I found just so fascinating that it's happening over there. But usually he gathers them for political reasons. So like when there's a change of the mayorship, or if there's a new election or a new president coming, all those things, it's to advocate for the arts, to make sure that the arts are taken into account. But so he gathered this group, and I'm talking about like the and I'm not going to be able to translate them all, but there's a group of orchestras, so leadership for a group of orchestras that exist in Tijuana, the Youth Symphony of Tijuana, the Opera of Tijuana, Tijuana Hace Teatro, which is a conglomerate of theater companies. 2 other different dance companies were there, and about 4 or 5 different, the Rosarito Art Festival, the Latin American Art Festival, and a couple of other like independent artists that are also just like arts leaders, like vocal arts leaders. So anyway, a group of over a dozen folks met. I met with them in his space in Tijuana. I brought Bob Lehman, the executive director of the San Diego Museum Council, which represents 80 museums. And we had a live translator sitting with him here. And so everything was going on in Spanish, and he was getting it all in English in his ear. It was really fascinating that this group, number one, I felt so welcomed and so it was very, and the word in Spanish is acogedor, like they were very like welcoming and warm and just like, oh, you exist, we exist, we should do things. There's a lot of like synergy and excitement. It just felt really, really special. And also in attendance was their executive director of World Design Capital from Tijuana. His name is Luis Luterot. So he was there also and said a few words. Anyway, later that night, some of us after the meeting, which was super productive, and we all got to know each other, and each person sort of presented a little bit about what they do. I presented ENVZN to them, that it's happening. I invited them all to the VIP party. Many of them are coming next Tuesday, and I invited them to apply for next year's festival and also to the World Design Capital, program. So they're all very excited and they're interested in creating something similar in Tijuana, in this kind of fashion of like pooling everyone's resources and creative capital and creating something larger instead of everybody kind of trying to do their own little thing, to show up for 24. And a handful of those groups, a handful of us went out to lunch and went to a museum. But later that night, the Secut, the major theater, the major arts center there, had an opening of a local artist, Becky Guten. She had a retrospective of her work. So we attended, and several of those same folks that I met that morning were there. So they come running up to me and they're like, oh, like, so we're best friends now. Like all of a sudden, like they're, and I just thought, this is so typical of Mexico. Like, they open your door once and you're like best, you're family forever. And I just thought how beautiful this moment and this opportunity is, that we should do something with this. I'm not sure yet what that is. I mean, we definitely have representatives from both sides of the border in our programming this year, but it's not 50-50, right? But how cool if we really tapped into this community regularly. And so now I'm on this WhatsApp chat group with this arts leadership of Tijuana, and it feels like just like it's this little golden nugget that I have here that I can do something with. So I wanted to bring that to your attention, this marketing group of creative minds on how we can synergize this and like turn it into a thing. Maybe it's like regular art tours down in Baja. Maybe it's some kind of, because I think that, and it's not easy to go down there. You gotta wait in line. Both ways, you gotta wait in line. If you cross by foot, there's another sort of level of intricacies that happen. You need a place to be your home base. Like if you want to spend the whole day there, it's a long day on your feet. So at some point you would just want to sit down and be in a place, where you're not doing anything, until you get to the next thing. And so where does that space exist? And, so anyway, we were thinking about curating like some series of regular art tours, like a little mini art bus or something that takes you down there and takes a group of art supporters, art folks, to have these experiences, because it really was very special. I was at the Secut and I saw several, like 4 or 5 people from San Diego, arts community. And then I saw this group of Tijuana arts leaders. And then we had our own group of arts leaders that I had brought down. Like there was like 8 of us. And there was this just moment of pure, like, cosmopolitan, international, cross-border, cross-collaborative, cross-industry moment. It felt so special to be there in that moment. And I just thought, wow, I just witnessed something really special. And I don't know what to do with this, but it's got to turn into something, So it's related to this. Maybe it's not. I just felt like what we're doing is so cool, this festival, to be able to use it to leverage this incredible community building across the border. I don't know. I welcome your thoughts on all of that. I just had to share because it was so special, and I want to do something with it.
Art tours to Tijuana would be an amazing part of the World Design Capital offerings, because I know they want to offer many different things throughout the year. There's already someone I know that does mural tours of Tijuana. Maybe working with that company, since they already have I don't know what they use for their vehicles or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. I'd love an introduction. I know that we have a woman on our team, Olga, who her job is to create VIP tours down to the Valle. So they pick you up, you cross the border, they pick you up in this little like mini bus, like a limo bus type of thing, and then you're drinking the whole way, and then you arrive in your little bus, and you have a nice meal, you know, you experience the whole thing, and then later that night they drive you back to the border.
my friend went on the mural tour of Tijuana. I'll try to see if she has the contact, because
Yeah,
that's an interesting facet of Tijuana art too.
absolutely.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think it could be, yeah, no, I'm not suggesting to do the Valle tours. I'm just saying that she has the mechanism to, you know, she has the
Oh, right.
similar, she
Definitely,
has,
she could. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Suzanne, I think art tours of Tijuana would be a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Art
would
and
say that.
culinary, something like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it could be a revenue generator. I mean, it's not something that we could pull off, you know, before this year or anything like that, but it certainly could be something that we could that would be supportive of next year's festival, and just ongoing, like what a missed opportunity that 60 something percent, somebody just gave me the stat of people of San Diegans have never been to Tijuana, which I found
I
like
haven't.
fascinating. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
haven't.
yeah.
Part of
Yeah,
it
and I
is
think
that
is the
I
fear
don't
or
speak Spanish, and I don't really know where to go or how to get
right,
there.
right.
So, but I'm wondering if can we change and go back a little bit to
Yeah,
marketing of this event, if that's okay. Like I
of
agree that
course.
this is
That's all
super,
we need
super
to.
exciting, and it feels like a great topic to maybe talk about in mid-September.
Mhm.
So video is a super way to connect with people on social. And I wondered if the new intern, knowing that he just started, but have you talked about a strategy for that at all, or how that might
No,
work
we're not
out?
there yet. I mean, he literally just came in yesterday, so he's
Yeah.
got a lot in front of him. I would say that after the 25th, that's going to be our entire focus, is just creating media, you know, with him. And I'm also so part of the task for both of our interns. So one intern is dedicated to communicating with the visual artists, and the other one to the performing artists. Their task is to be reaching out to these groups and saying, hey, you know, do you have any events coming up where we could take some video? Do you have any, you know, are you working in your workshop? Is there any opportunities for that to happen? Or have you been rehearsing, you know, for the people in Tijuana where it's a little trickier to get down there, you know, make sure that you're taking video of your rehearsals so that we can use this to help promote. So for example, one of the artists, Doris Bitar, has been tagging us with a lot of video rehearsals, but tagging us isn't the same as having that content that we can produce into our own, you know,
Right.
promo
Right.
Yeah.
piece. So
Well, let me know if there's a way that I can help with sort of the strategy piece
I
of
would
all
love
of that.
that.
Like
Yes.
getting the materials is one important piece, but is there, you know, like what does it look like? And
Right,
how does it
right.
most effectively communicate when you're, you know, showing it as reels or something like that? So
Mhm.
I think that'll be a really good piece of the puzzle. Can I follow up on something we talked about last time?
Yeah.
We talked last time about the possibility of changing the look of some of the social materials.
Yeah.
That they were, you know, the black and a lot of circles. Has there been
Mhm.
any follow up on that?
Well, yes, I absolutely have that intention. You saw that the foodie ones just went out, and I didn't. So let me just say, I'm going to do it. It's happening. So the grid itself is going to have a whole new version, and I did talk to the interns about it. It's going to happen. I just don't have I didn't have the bandwidth to think it through and creatively
Mhm.
design it and all of that. I feel like I need more time to do that. It's not something I can just sort of throw together, because I want to be really intentional about what it looks like. So I just stuck to, you know, the format that we have for the foodie event, because it was like right around the corner, and I just didn't have time, you know, to make that happen. But I agree with you. I think that our limitation in the Instagram grid is that everything has to be posted in groupings of 3 in order to maintain our the look, you know, that it's the way that it's laid out is if you just post one, then everything else will sort of fall apart. I don't know if you
Yes,
remember that.
but Facebook, yeah, I do. And I looked
Yeah.
at the grid.
Yeah, but
I'm not
Facebook is different. You can go wild on Facebook.
It's totally different. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not, I mean, I'm no Instagram expert, but I'm not as driven by the grid. I rarely look at a page's grid.
I
Yeah.
don't think most people look at the grids. If we look at our own grids, I don't think most people look at other people's grids.
Yeah.
Yeah. There
So,
will be
and
new
are you
content
doing
for sure.
all of that design yourself? Because that's a really big lift for you to be doing all of that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
so the interns, you know, help out, but here's the thing with interns is that some of them are super savvy and some of them are not, you know?
Yeah.
Some of them are not. You would expect that their generation, they really would be, but they're not, you know? And so they're learning just as much as I have a good sense of, you know, marketing and branding. I've been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah,
I have I have a
absolutely.
good sense of like, I know what our brand's supposed to look like. I know that it has to have this specific look and feel. They're learning that, you know, what does that look like? Because if I let them be free, sometimes they do like really cute things or like girly, and I'm like, that's not our brand.
Absolutely
You know,
not.
it's
But
cute, it's nice,
I
but
wonder
it's not us.
if they had enough, and maybe an intern is not the solution. Maybe, and I'm not
No,
suggesting a
yeah.
paid, but maybe you've got a more, and it's not me. I'd volunteer if I had any experience in this, but I just, you know, like sometimes I let others give me something to react to rather than feeling like I need to sit down and design it myself in Canva.
Yeah.
So, you know, so just an
Sure.
idea that,
I mean, if you know, it's we just work within our resources. So I'm what I
just
definitely
think,
want to do is
Susanna,
be
that you're,
intentional. I don't want to just sort of like, oh, now we have to be different, because I don't know what that different needs to look like, and I need to be married to that different. What does that look like? So I want to have the time to like really, you know, ideate, and I haven't had time to do that. So I didn't want to just throw something brand new without feeling good about it. I wanted to just be like, okay, well, I know that I have this template that I can just get this going, and then we can refocus, you know. And I haven't had a chance to be in the room with these 2 interns to be like, ideas, what do you think, and what if we go here, and you know, what did that look like? So, you know, it's on me that I just didn't have the bandwidth to really do it.
So regardless of the look, I just wanted to bring up again something we all agreed on at the last meeting that's really important in the social media content is, aside from saying we have this artist, we have this chef, these are the things, talking about why it's going to be fun. You know, what's the fun part of the experience? Are there drinks? Are there, you know, is dancing? I mean, whatever the fun elements are, I think that will really help to sell tickets.
Yeah. So I'll share the new graphic that went out. And this is the just a square small graphic, so not a lot of text can fit in here, but just to give you a sense of the messaging. Oops. Can you see that? Curate your own experience. 8 urban venues will be transformed by more than 50 visual and performing artists from both sides of the border. So that's the short, sweet, square version. And then this is the poster. So this is the poster. And so it's curate your own experience, film, theater, dance, visual arts, music, and more. Programming will change every 30 minutes at each venue so that visitors can design their preferred visual and performing arts lineup. And then over 50 artists and more than a dozen visual and performing arts groups from both sides of the US-Mexico border. Artisans, delicious food, beverage by local vendors. So that's the poster.
You know,
can you leave it just there for, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Charlotte.
No, I was going to say, you know, for some people, curate your own lineup is not really compelling. It's almost intimidating. People, not everybody knows what that means.
Well, what's another way to say it?
Well, I don't have the words, but I, you know, go back to what Sandy said about making sure that people understand this is going to be fun.
Well,
curate,
this is already printed, so I mean, I don't think we should.
okay.
We can, I mean, there's only 200 printed right now. I just printed a
Yeah.
handful for this, but if you hate it, we can, can make
So
edits.
here's my impression of these images. The only one that says that I might be able to do something is what looks like a chalk painter. That's the one that says that I might somehow get involved. The others feel a little bit like I'm watching, which I know some of these experiences are, but I'm
Most of
not
them
getting a clear
are,
picture of what I'm watching.
okay.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
um,
Well, this isn't really that much of a participatory event
It's
in that
not.
sense.
okay. So that's important, but like when I look at these images, I don't know what I'm seeing. I don't, it's not telling a story in such a way that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go and am I gonna see a dancer? There's like maybe 3 people on here who are dancing, so I guess there's gonna be dancing. But the green guy, like what's that? And
Oh,
An art installation.
see that the image doesn't say that to me. And the one up in the top that looks like kind of fire, is there like fire dancing or, but
It's video art. It's a video art piece. So, I mean, I guess what I can say is that because this is the first year, we have to go with the images that were provided to us by the artists, right? Because this hasn't happened yet.
yes,
So
to Sandy's
outside of
point,
using stock photos or something, which I don't want to do, since we have artists, these are all the artists that are participating. It's Mesa
yes, but
College.
how could you use this kind of image, but to help define more clearly what will be fun?
right. I agree.
I
I
don't
mean,
know
if
the
you
answer
were
to that
going
clearly.
to redo a piece like this, my suggestion would be have less images and bolder text where it says participate in, see,
Watch a film.
eat,
Experience.
and maybe do bullets of like some of the highlights that are very active
Mhm.
sounding.
Mm-hmm. So change to active words. So
And make the text more of a thing, because I think there's so much images there that you don't know where to look. I mean, this is already done, so I know nobody wants to have something pick apart after it's already being distributed. But I mean, if you have an opportunity to redo, my suggestion would be less images and strong statements about the experience, like bullets.
so bullet points. I'm not someone who gravitates so much to text, so I'm a little nervous that I won't be able to pull that off in the way that you all are suggesting.
Well,
So
even having all of the words like film, theater, dance down in the corner, if those were separated so that they were more like a caption under some key photos. And this poster is printed, but I think that what we're saying might help in terms of the direction for social.
mhm.
Yeah.
If we were to, like, very simplistically, let's say that instead of doing multiple images on your social, you were to go with one big image and it would say, catch a dance performance or watch them fly, or, I'm just kind of spitballing here, but so that there were words that described the activity that the viewer was going to be taking place in. That would at least be a direction that might make it feel a little bit more like, here's what you're going to do when you get
Okay.
there, and why it's going to be fun and visual and the place to be that weekend. You don't want to miss this.
Right.
Okay. So I'll take all that into account. So we have go into Canva here. So the next is
Oh,
signage
did she freeze?
Did I freeze?
No, not to me. Charlotte, you froze, actually.
Oh, you froze.
You're the one who's frozen.
Can you hear us?
Come back, Charlotte.
She froze. At least it wasn't a bad pose. Sometimes we get stuck like that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Maybe you want to come out and come back in. Not sure. Okay, so we're trying to, so first of all, don't think about the layout right now, because this right now the big task was getting all the information into these places, and formatting has not happened. So this is the very first kind of attempt at getting all of this. These will be large scale posters that have the times at the various sites, and we have everything's color coded, so all of the buildings are color coded. There will be fencing all the way down the corridor, and that fencing will have a wrap that matches the color of the building in front of it, so that when you're directing people, you go, oh, go down to the pink area, right? And so you can visually see where the pink area is, just because the color of the fence will have that color. And then the signage will happen right there. And so this is not that signage. This is the signage that will happen at the 2 entry points. And this is also a version of this is going to be in our program, our printed program, which we're working on right now. So each of these will have a little corresponding dot that lives next to it that has the color of the location where it lives. And right now, the only thing that is, you'll see that each one of these says dance performance, dance performance, dance performance. That's because they were all copy pasted. So it's not the actual descriptions filled in yet, but this part is short film, storytelling, transformative, inspiring, bold, raw, puppetry, binational. So that part is related to these artists. And we just want to put like a one-liner underneath for each one that has a very simple thing, and the page number that it's associated with. This is the version that we're creating for the program. So that's why there's page numbers here. The poster clearly will not have that. They won't have page numbers on them. But there's a lot of programming happening at each half hour, right? So we want to break them down by area. So these will be rearranged by section, by the area that they're in, to make it easier to find. And we just did this yesterday. We were just putting the information on these documents, but I wanted to give you a chance to see them. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. And then our intern is working on the program. So I'll show you the grid view of this. So you've got, oops, yeah. So you've got the exterior, interior. This is going to be a version of this, more like a statement from me on what the vision of this is and why we should be excited, etc. And then it's going to be a version of that program that I just showed you, taking the place of all of these, because this is what our intern did. It's just looks like an Excel spreadsheet, and I didn't want that. So I wanted it to be more creative, but it was very useful that she was able to pull all the content, because that helped me to create those pages. So at least, that was helpful. And then we're going to have a how to envision, how frequently asked questions, how to do it. That's the very first next page. And then here's the layout with the various colors that correspond to the locations. And then we have, each one is going to have their own page. And this was her first attempt at this. I kind of would prefer that it be more image heavy than these circular pieces. I know that it's on brand with what we've been doing, but I'm not in love with it. I welcome your feedback on how these look. If you think the simple version is fine, but I kind of wanted these to go big images and make it very juicy. But
I love the image that has the woman's face with the blue. I mean, I think that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, that would be a good poster with less text.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that layout, the way it follows her hair, and it just that just grabs you.
Cool, thank you.
I think just as a suggestion, when this is ready, can we make it into one of those issue flip workbooks like the magazines put online and use that on
Yeah,
social?
I don't know how
Mm.
to do that, but if somebody knows
It's just, I think it's just
where
ISSU or
.com or
something.
something. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do. We've done it before with our artwork magazine. I don't
Okay.
remember who
Yeah,
it
definitely.
wasn't. I'm not the techie, but that would be a great thing to share
Mhm.
in advance.
Okay, cool.
'Cause it just shows how much is going on. I mean, 55 pages or 58 pages,
Well,
whatever.
it's
66 pages.
it's actually 36 pages. We just have some extras floating around in here that don't belong yet. But they're
Seeing all
useful to.
those pages, I think, will help to sell tickets.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, it should be ready second week of August is our goal because it has to go to print on the 14th. So this is, the map, the entry points, and then what are your thoughts about these pages
I
in
don't mind
this?
them.
No,
I think
for me, for some
that's
reason, it felt
text.
too cute, but maybe it's just needs to be clean and clear, and that's fine. I don't want to
What's
make
the
her.
size of it? Is it 8.5 by 11?
Yes.
The main thing is because it's evening, is that the text is big enough to
Yeah.
read.
That's why we did it in white with black text versus the other way around, since everything's been black. But this is 12 point here. These are all 12 point something. These are 16.80.
Before I forget to ask this, are you getting us some flyers to have out at our event?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Need those by August, like 2nd.
August 2nd. Oh, okay. I can get
Yeah.
those to you. Are you in town? Where are
Just
you?
have them dropped off at our office, or if someone just wants to bring them to the event, our preview is the 4th and then it's 5th and 6th.
Okay. All right. So one of the things that you'll note here is that you have this like dot. So all of them are going to have the basic facts, right? The screening times and the location here, and then the dot corresponding dot color on all of this on both sides. So that's what you're looking at, and then she's still working on getting.
I want to
everybody
jump in just
ready.
quickly. I would love it to be less about sentences and more about keywords. I was looking at that one for Coronado Film Festival, and it said something about like join us for join the. So we already know it's Coronado Island Film Fest. I would say animated film shorts, followed by a Q&A. Director, I mean, I would make it more like what you were saying, Sandy, about bullet points. And it doesn't have to be bullet, not bullet points in the true sense of the word, but more like you've got short film, storytelling, transformative, that kind of pop out information.
In the program though, like in the program, isn't this the place where they get more information about the artists? And I mean, that's because they're getting that in this, right? So here they kind of get the gist. Here's the gist, right?
Susanna, I'm probably not going to look at that page. I'm going to look through the other pages. And if it's really text heavy, it's just, I don't know. It's just the way that people seem to be taking information these days. Like, how can it just be briefer? That I guess that would be my message. How could they all just be more brief?
Yeah, I agree.
I'm thinking, part of it, I'm also like sort of thinking about workflow and how could you repurpose whatever you put in the program to be part of your social. So you only really have to design it once, because it's okay if people see it on because not everybody sees all social. And then if it was also in the program. So how could you, design once, consolidate, and make that into a social media graphic?
So
again,
I mean, I just worry about
process.
the artists feeling like slighted, like I cut up their text too much. I mean, this is the information that they sent me, and I can cut, it's already been cut, but I can cut like another.
It's way too long.
Couple sentences. Okay.
It's too long for a program maybe, but for a take-home piece, which I think it will be, I don't know. I kind of look at this like it's a playbill.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. You're right, Sandy.
This is like a playbill. Like I don't.
My playbill after the show when I bring it home.
And then this is also going to have the logos of the various sponsors that sponsored individual artists or donors, right? So it's going to have the donor and sponsor information. But the rest are not done. But that's how I see it. It's like the program to a theater piece, you know? And so you go to, you know, the page and you go, okay, well, it's, what time is it, right? Okay, it's 8 o'clock. So these are the things that are available. I go to the page number to learn more about them. And here's the page number, right? So, okay, San Diego Film, let's see what the Italian Film Festival is producing. Okay, great. Yeah, let's go to that one. Where? The pink section. Let's go, right? So that's kind of how I see the program functioning. And some of this will double as signage.
You can maybe send this out in advance to everyone that buys a ticket.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah,
that would be really easy to work into the your reply message for ticketing.
Yeah, good idea. I like that.
And another cool image down there in the lower left corner. That's like
this one.
Really, wow.
Yeah, I feel like this one is probably going to be the closing, the back of the piece. So after all of the artists are identified and they have their page and everything, then there's going to be the sponsor, you know, information. Thank you so much for making all this work possible, etc. This will be laid out a little better. I just copy pasted from a postcard that we have. And then, you know, opportunities for sponsorship and any other information. And then the closing, you know, pages, the interior and then the exterior. So this is the program, Linda. Hi, welcome.
Hi, sorry I'm late. Just back from Santa Fe, literally.
Oh gosh.
Oh, wow.
How'd it go? Good?
Yeah, it was good.
Good festival? Awesome.
Yeah, it was hot.
I
Really
bet.
hot.
I bet. It's hot here. Jeez.
Hot here.
Yeah.
So I mean, you missed much of it. I'm not sure what we can recap, but what you're looking at is the program, the printed program. There'll be 1,000 of these. And these pages will be substituted by a more designed version of that, which kind of looks like this. A little better laid out. Right now the information is just here, but we'll design it up a little bit better. But the point is like, how do you do this festival? First, you have to know what time it is, right? What time are you trying to seek your experience? Because every half an hour they change out. So that's why I led with this. What time is it? Start here, check out the options available in your time slot, find the dot color and head to that event zone. That's how you do it. And so when you go back to the program, that'll be, actually this page should probably lead, well, this might be a little higher, but this will be the frequently asked questions, the layout, the dots, the locations, and then each individual artist will have their page. And then it ends with a sponsorship page and whatever closing information we want to have there. So that's that. And I think that's all I have to show you guys right now. I do hear you about the, you know, this is the thing that you guys know how to do well. And I really have never tried to bring in, you know, thousands of people super, but we have some graphics that have been designed that I'll show you, like multimedia pieces or video pieces. Where is it here? Is this the one? Ah, come on. It's this one. Hold on a second. Here it is. Okay, can you see this square graphic here?
No.
No? Okay, hang on. Can you see this square graphic here?
Yes.
Okay.
That's cool.
Mhm.
That's effective.
So that's the text version that exists, but I know more of that needs to happen now. That was the feedback that I got, is enough with the visuals. Um, and I think that's all I have for now. I'm focused on trying to fill the room for the 25th because we still have to keep fundraising. And I'm hoping that that helps to build some momentum for that. There will also be ticket sales that take place there on site, you know, and maybe we'll create some little extra $5 off or something like that if you buy it tonight, you know, something like that, just to give some incentive. So that'll be a couple hundred tickets, I hope, you know, that get sold. And I'm open to questions, ideas, suggestions. I don't have much else. Sorry, Linda. You'll have
Right,
to watch the
you
recording.
know, I'll listen to the recording. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, thank you.
Sometimes when we're desperate to sell tickets, which is on any ticketed event we do, we partner with San Diegoville, which I don't want to go on. The guy that owns that is kind of horrible, but he wants $5 per ticket sold and then offer a discount. So I don't know if you're at that stage where you want to do that kind of discounting yet, but I can make the introduction.
Is it effective? Does he actually sell tickets?
He does. He said we've never used him to sell tickets to anything arts related before, and he's selling tickets for our preview party on August 4th, which you're all invited to if you'd like to come. But he does sell tickets. He does more with like beer festivals and things like that, but it could just be another avenue because he does have a pretty popular blog, website, and social media presence.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's okay. Thank you for that. So again, everything's happening in the month of August. So like after the first couple weeks of August, I'll get a good sense of where we are really. We've got a lot of print ads going out. We've got all the social media ads going out. And then the very first task of this intern that's coming in and the one that's here that's staying for her session is to give all of the artists and partners the graphic, the little blurb, the discount code, the link to empower them to get the word out. And that includes all the people from Co-Place, the Soap Factory, the guys who, you know, Chip and Mike, who produce festivals, and they have this massive list already. Also, they haven't even started promoting it yet. So in the month of August, you know, after a couple of weeks of real hard push, we'll get a good sense of where we are. But that's a really good lead. And then I also have a guy who you probably know him from John from the Espresso magazine.
John Ripo.
Yeah, John Ripo, but he distributes rack cards for you at all the coffee shops, you know, that he does that. So he's always been a good friend and has done that for us on his tours. And then I think somebody said that they had a connection with the San Diego Convention Center where we could drop off some rack cards there as well. So we'll see. We'll see how all that momentum builds or doesn't. And people seem really excited about it. They seem really, you know, interested and intrigued, but they just haven't bought the tickets. So I'm curious.
Plus, let's remember Tony's got a full
Mhm.
roster of her contacts, and she has a plan that she's laid out for us.
Right. I'm going to be on the jazz station. Is it KSDS in a couple of weeks also? Mm-hmm.
The number one way that we distribute tickets is with our exhibitors. The number, you know, because it's like throwing a pebble in a pool of water, and you know, they can drive a lot of the audience if they're motivated. And you know, and our exhibitors distribute a lot of tickets. So I think that all of the participants you know, make sure that, you know, that they've got the graphic pieces to put on social media, that they've got a PDF that they can send out as a
press release,
newsletter, to a database. All of that can be really effective in terms of driving.
Yeah, we created early on their marketing toolkit, but none of them have, probably only a handful of them have actually touched it because it was so far early on. So that'll be one of the reminders is don't forget you have this, you know, here you have, and it has various options for various blurbs. And I think we used your media kit, Linda, as a template, for
Yeah.
ideas on how to do that. So we got a really good sense of that. So we'll see how it goes. That's
Well, and
the gist of
most
it.
of it happens 4 weeks and then closer.
Yeah.
A lot of it
So
will happen
we're like
at the
6
week
weeks
of.
out, I think right now. We're like 6 weeks out.
Yeah.
So the festival
yeah.
itself is coming together really well. I mean, it's coming together beautifully, and I'm really excited about the team that we pulled together. And I might have mentioned this to you earlier, but the woman who's our stage manager for the full festival is so she's what she calls a line leader. She's going to be on a little golf cart going up and down the corridor and connecting
Yeah.
with each of the different leads on the different properties. She's actually producing the opening ceremonies for the Olympics. She's a highly capable human,
Wow.
that's gonna and she's got a million ideas, and she's already because she's already procuring a lot of product for the Olympics. She said, hey, well, maybe I can help you out, and let me get some quotes. If we go through that company, maybe we can get like a cheaper price, because I'm already purchasing all this stuff. We can just do an add-on, and then they'll give me a nice deal. So she's helping me out in a variety of ways. Great thinker. So good things are happening. It's coming together. And thank you for helping me get anyone in the room next Tuesday who you think might be a potential sponsor, donor, even if you can't be there. And I said this before, but Linda, if you know anyone that in this region that you think should be in the room next week, they're going to get a beautiful experience, live performances, art exhibitions, incredible food and drink and all of that. So you can schmooze somebody, that you think, give them the promo code. So I'll follow up with that link again for everybody, so you can have it at the ready.
Great.
All right. Well, thank you,
One
everybody.
other
Oh, yeah.
idea, and
Yes.
we've done this in Miami. We really haven't done it anyplace else. But for an event like this, you might think about it. If there is another event that's happening the week of, 2 weeks before, having people on site at that event with a backpack full of invitations, and you mentioned a discount. So maybe it's some thing that you're passing out with a discount code on it. That can be pretty effective.
Okay.
If there's something going on.
Well, Art Walk,
Well,
she Sandy generously offered to have us have either a booth or drop off some. I don't have bandwidth to do a booth that weekend, but I can definitely drop off a bunch of flyers, for sure, postcards.
Or if you want
But
to
I
have
like
one
the
of your
idea of,
interns walk around, that would be awesome.
yeah. I think I can do that. They would
Yeah.
do it. Just walk around and hand them out.
Yep.
I like that.
I mean, they're all art lovers, so it's your built-in audience.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a
Hanging
great
fruit.
idea.
Yeah.
And
They've
yeah, and
already
then if we printed a stack that had a discount code on it already, then that would make Art Walk on it or something.
they've already self-identified
Mhm.
as loving art and activities like that.
Yeah,
So
would you be okay
that's
with
a
that,
great
Sandy?
location.
Is our
I
interns
think
walking
so.
around
Let
with
me
that?
just confirm with the partners, but I'm fine with it. So, yeah.
Okay, let me know if
I
not.
think
If not, we can just
I'll
drop off
let you
a
know if
stack.
there's
That's
any
fine.
issues, but
And Liberty Station Arts District it's
first Friday,
First Friday.
yeah,
which is the
exactly.
same Friday as our preview party,
Which would be even closer.
August 4th.
Right.
Is that happening
Okay.
September 1st?
Well,
So the day before your event, would there be that Liberty Station art event?
Maybe
do it in
all
the
of our team would
summer,
be
I
on
think.
site
Right,
installing
exactly.
all of
Yeah,
that, but we can get them stacks before the week of or something like that.
find a
you.
volunteer. Find a volunteer that
Yeah, we have a lot of volunteers signing
walk
up.
around with a backpack and pass
Yeah.
out stuff on First Friday.
That's actually a really great idea. We can use some of our volunteer support doing those types of things.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
So if
Great.
you do it at our event, I would prefer you do it on the Saturday, Sunday, as opposed to the Friday VIP party.
Yeah.
The Friday VIP party is the same night as the first Friday.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so do first Friday.
Yeah. If we do first Friday, we won't hand them out at the VIP party, but we can leave. That's where they could leave stacks at the. We'll drop off a stack for you guys for Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll leave little stacks
Oh, we'll
at the
put them out
various
Friday
art
too.
sites.
It's just
Oh,
like
okay.
I would rather not having someone walk around that night.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
it's your VIP crew. I get it. I totally get it. Thank you. These are all really
And
good
we're
ideas.
struggling with ticket sales too, so I feel
You
your pain.
are. Yeah,
just
send me your
a
graphic.
little last
We'll
minute
put it in our
fee.
newsletter. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Do you have a square?
I think Sarah sent you. A square graphic.
Send me a square graphic and we'll put it
I
in
have
as
it.
an ad. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll put it on the website too. We have a
Square.
the
or
website is what gets the
250
most
by
traffic.
3 Is it 250 by 300 or square?
No, it's just a 500 by 500. It's a large
I
size.
think I have
So
that.
it
I'll
yeah,
send you
just a
what I have.
500 square. Send it over and the link that you want it to go to and we'll put it in the on the website. The website's what gets the most traffic and then the newsletter and the
Thank
social
you.
media. We can do that.
Okay, I may have to have it reformatted, so give me a day.
Mhm. Yeah, it'll read better on the website if you can get to 500. And that goes for everybody. If you have stuff going on that you want to promote, let me know.
I think PR
Well, thank you
person
for all
sent
this
you a
great
press
input.
release.
Yeah,
Please
thank
feel
you.
free
Sorry I
to
was late.
email or follow up. No worries. I'll share this with you, and please feel free to follow up with anything else that we didn't bring up or talk about. And Jane, I do want to take up your offer to maybe meet with our interns when we're
Mhm.
strategizing about momentum and
Yeah.
the plan.
Yeah.
So I'll
Give you
reach
some
out to you
ideas
when
to
we're meeting next, and
simplify
hopefully you can
and
join us.
streamline. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, ladies.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Bye, everybody.